Donald Trump made an appearance in a Manhattan courtroom and pleaded not guilty to 34 charges. This marks the initial step in a lengthy process that could result in the first criminal trial of a former U.S. president. Trump's actions were unprecedented, and they have generated an equally unprecedented response. After losing the 2020 election and leaving office in January 2021, Trump has been the subject of 4 separate criminal investigations. These investigations aim to determine if Trump violated the law and, if so, what actions should be taken. To understand these 4 cases, it is important to have a basic understanding of how criminal investigations work in the United States. Initially, investigators gather evidence by interviewing witnesses, reviewing surveillance footage, examining financial records, and analyzing texts and emails. This evidence is then presented to a grand jury, which consists of randomly selected citizens. The grand jury's role is not to determine guilt or innocence but to assess the validity of the evidence. If at least 12 members of the grand jury find the evidence compelling, they issue an indictment, allowing the prosecutor to file charges. The accused individual can either plead guilty, leading to immediate sentencing, or plead not guilty, which leads to a trial where a jury must reach a unanimous decision based on the evidence presented. Although this is a simplified explanation, variations exist across different states and jurisdictions. Now, let's examine the status of the investigations involving Trump. We'll begin with the hush money case. The state of New York has officially charged Trump with falsifying business records in the first degree. According to prosecutors, he repeatedly and fraudulently altered New York business records to conceal criminal activities and hide damaging information from the public during the 2016 presidential election. One piece of evidence is a bank statement from Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, indicating that funds were withdrawn in October 2016. These funds were then used to pay an adult film actress to remain silent about an alleged affair with Trump. A year later, after Trump became president, he reimbursed Cohen through several checks, falsely designating them as payments for legal services. Trump has been indicted based on this evidence and has pleaded not guilty. To convict him of a felony, the district attorney must prove not only the falsification of records but also that it was done to advance or cover up another crime. However, some consider these allegations against Trump less significant compared to the more serious accusation of attempting to undermine the election. Regarding election interference, there is a notable case in Georgia. A phone call between Trump and Brad Raffensperger, the Secretary of State of Georgia, has drawn attention. Trump inquired about finding 11,780 votes, which, if discovered, would have been enough to overturn the election results in Georgia. A special grand jury in Georgia has heard the evidence and recommended multiple indictments, but it remains unclear if District Attorney Fani Willis will pursue further action. In addition to the Georgia case, a federal special counsel named Jack Smith is investigating similar allegations of Trump's post-election behavior. Specifically, the focus has been on the creation of fake elector slates in key swing states where Trump attempted to assemble alternative electors despite Biden's victory. A grand jury in Washington, D.C., has been reviewing evidence for several months, but no decision has been reached yet. Finally, the same special prosecutor is also examining another case related to Trump. The FBI conducted a search at Trump's Mar-a-Lago property and found numerous classified, confidential, and top-secret documents. Some reports suggest that these documents may have included nuclear-related information and intelligence that could compromise U.S. informants or sources. The grand jury in Washington, D.C., is currently reviewing this evidence. During his presidency, Donald Trump not only made controversial statements but also acted in unprecedented ways. Now that he is no longer in office, it is crucial to determine if any of his unprecedented behavior was also illegal and, if so, to decide on the appropriate course of action.